It is Friday, the weekend is here. I'm going to be locked on PlayStation VR 2, as you guys probably have already guessed. And with this video, I wanted to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories. And if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it. And as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes the next major update for the PlayStation 5 possibly dropping next week, the next PlayStation Showcase being built up, Sony forced to reveal exclusive deals, third-party deals to Microsoft, which could leak to us and it could be very interesting, and Sony sold 126 times more consoles in a major region compared to Xbox. First, if you had to choose just one, Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine, which one would you choose? It's been a long time since I asked this, but I'm wondering if anything has changed for any of you. With Spider-Man 2 launching later this year and Wolverine potentially launching next year, which would you choose to play if you could only choose one? So comment below, Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine, if you could only choose one to play. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Sony sold 126 times more consoles. So, Xbox has never really been a big platform in Japan, with Sony almost all the time taking the lead when it comes to sales. That Xbox doesn't really have a market there, as obviously in comparison to Sony. According to Phil Spencer, they're trying to grow in Japan, but so far it doesn't look like it's working as well. We knew that Sony would be topping sales, but I didn't think by this multiplier. In the last week of sales for February in Japan, according to Gematsu, Sony sold 91,729 consoles, while Xbox only sold 727 consoles. So this includes both the Series S and the Series X. When you divide the two, obviously, you'll see that the PlayStation 5 has sold 126 more times compared to Xbox. That is a crazy multiplier to see when it comes to sales for competing consoles. Looking at lifetime sales, the PlayStation 5 sits at almost 3 million, while the Xbox sits at about 450,000. In that case, it looks less crazy, obviously, because it's only about 6 times larger in sales. It's still weird to say only when we're talking about 6 times more in sales, but if Sony is able to continue this 126 times sales number multiplier month after month or week after week, which I assume is thanks to the fact that there are more PS5s out there right now, the lifetime sales multiplier for PlayStation 5 is just going to get higher. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony is being forced to reveal exclusivity data to Microsoft, which could in turn leak to us. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, to fight off the FTC lawsuit over its impending acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Microsoft subpoenaed Sony, demanding a laundry list of documents that it felt was relevant to the case. This included personnel files of PlayStation executives and third-party exclusivity deals. In response, Sony filed a motion to quash or limit the subpoena, accusing Microsoft of obvious harassment. Unfortunately for Sony, FTC's judge mostly disagrees. The nature and extent of Sony Interactive Entertainment's content licensing agreements are relevant to the complainant's allegations of exclusivity arrangements between video game console developers and video game developers and publishers, FTC ruled. In response to Sony's argument that going through decades worth of files and business records is an unnecessary burden, the FTC reduced the date range of documents required. Microsoft had requested records from January 1st, 2012 onwards. FTC has limited this to January 1st, 2019 onwards. So this could be interesting because this information will probably leak to us, the public, and we can get the inside look at Sony's partnerships with third-party companies. Like what's going on with Final Fantasy VII Remake? Is it ever going to Xbox, or is it a forever PlayStation exclusive? But the more interesting thing is that this could also possibly show future reveals that have yet to be announced. Remember, this is from 2019 onwards, so from then until now, which could also include deals Sony has made for unannounced titles, I would assume. I wonder if this could also include PlayStation Studios titles, because third-party companies are also considered PlayStation Studios if they're working on Sony IP. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out and what information comes out of it. But you guys let me know if you care about the Activision Xbox deal or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, Sony is building up to a PlayStation Showcase. Reading from GamerRant, the number of highly anticipated games that PlayStation has in development right now is staggering, and their lack of appearance at the recent State of Play was a big point of confusion, though some highly anticipated PlayStation titles are still in the early stages of development, and fans won't likely see them for a while. Sony has plenty of games gearing up for release later this year, and it's a little confusing that the recent State of Play didn't show them off in any regard, but this has led many to believe that Sony is gearing up for a pretty monumental PlayStation Showcase later this year. The PlayStation Showcase could end up showing off more exclusive titles than ever before. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is extremely likely to appear during the next PlayStation Showcase. Another big upcoming PlayStation title is the Silent Hill 2 remake, which doesn't have a release window yet, but could receive another trailer. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is slated for winter 2023 release, making a full gameplay reveal likely for the next PlayStation Showcase. Naughty Dog's long-awaited The Last of Us multiplayer game, Factions 2, my baby, also has to be right around the corner at this point, and that's just scratching the surface. Sony also has a plethora of completely unannounced first-party projects in the works. So this is something I've been saying for a while, that Sony has a lot of projects in the works from first-party studios and partner studios, and it's wild they've been this silent for so long. Again, the last PlayStation Showcase was in 2021. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Spider-Man 2, Silent Hill, Factions 2, those are confirmed announced titles. There's so much yet to be announced that Sony could show off. Wolverine has been in development since 2021. We could get something there as well at the next PlayStation Showcase. As for when this showcase could happen, April or May are the rumored months, and I'll be live streaming that for sure. And now diving into the final story of the video, the next major update for the PlayStation 5 live next week. So this is just a reminder on the next major update. As you guys know, it's been in beta for over a month now. I've been using it so far, and it's been nice, solid changes here and there. And of course, the big feature being Discord. There were some issues as well with one of the issues that I've had personally is not being able to manually upload videos to the PlayStation app. It just has not worked for me, which is disappointing because if you guys remember, it was a highlight feature for me. So I hope it gets fixed before the public release. But putting that to the side, the public release of this update is rumored to drop on March 8th, which is this upcoming Wednesday, according to Tom Henderson. Again, I'll say that Tom Henderson got the beta release time frame and duration of how long it'll be wrong, which I called out back then since it was way off pattern. But an early March release for the next major update does follow pattern, but as I've said before, it could release this month or early next month. For example, last year's public release was in late March, and the year before that was in early April. So let's see how this plays out, if the public release is actually going to go down next week. But you guys let me know if you're in the PlayStation 5 beta right now or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As it always helps, so subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "We need a showcase." Whether it's happening in April or May, it just needs to happen sometime soon because it's been so long. And if you agree, destroy the comment section with "We need a showcase," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.